Om Shanti, 20th October 2023, Baapdada Sakar Murli. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, forget everything including your bodies and remember the one Father. For only then will you be called real children. Your intellect should now be removed from this old world. Question: in which children's intellects will the knowledge easily sit? Answer: all the knowledge easily sits in the intellects of poor children who have destroyed their attachment and whose intellects are broad and unlimited. Those who think this is my wealth or this is my husband cannot imbibe knowledge and they cannot claim a high status. Those who remember Lockic relationships even after belonging to the Father means that their engagement is not firm. They are called stepchildren. Song: to live in your lane and to die in your lane. Om Shanti. You sweetest children would have understood the meaning of this song by yourselves. You now have to belong to the Father while alive, and you also have to forget and leave the old world which is called the extreme depths of hell. You have to forget the extreme depths of hell and remember heaven. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember your Father. The old world has to be removed from your intellects. Effort is needed for this. It is a bondage of karma of birth after birth. It is not a karmic bondage of just one birth, but of birth after birth. So many sins have been committed with so many people. The consequences of all of them have to be experienced by taking birth. Therefore, this world of karmic bondage has to be forgotten. This is a dirty world and an impure body. Remove your attachment from it. The poor are easily able to remove their attachment, but the wealthy have difficulty in doing this. They think that they are sitting happily in heaven and that the poor are unhappy. In fact, the whole of Bharat is poor, but in that too, those who are poor take this knowledge quickly. The Father comes here just for them. The poor receive a bigger inheritance. If you look at all the centers, wealthy ones are hardly able to stay. The women that come too are from poor homes. Wealthy ones receive happiness from their husbands, and this is why their intellects yoga is not removed from them. It is generally the poor who take knowledge. The Father, whom everyone remembers, is the Lord of the poor. However, according to the drama, devotees don't know God. God is the protector of the devotees. The one Father, the bestower of salvation, is the one who gives you the fruit of your devotion. You children are now listening to things of knowledge from the Father. This knowledge sits in the intellects of the children who have broad and unlimited intellects and who have destroyed their attachment. Those whose intellects think this is my husband or this is my wealth cannot claim a high status. Those who give the introduction of the Creator and creation claim a status. How can you receive the inheritance without knowing the Father? There cannot be any benefit by simply calling the bridegroom the bridegroom. How can you become engaged to the bridegroom without knowing him? When a Kumari is to become engaged, they show her his picture. He is the son of so and so, and this is his occupation. Previously, they didn't even show them pictures but would just get them engaged. Nonetheless, they would tell her what his occupation was. Here, some children don't know their father or their bridegroom, so how can they become engaged? It is number wise. Some people's engagement is not fixed. They don't remember the parlockic bridegroom. They continue to remember their Lokik bridegrooms and Lokik relationships, and so that means the engagement is not firm. They are called stepchildren. Firm ones are called real children. There are very few real children. So many came to the bhatti, but so many of them were weak. They did not even recognize their bridegroom. Just as mercury cannot stay on the palm of your hand, so remembrance too is just as difficult. You repeatedly forget Baba. Even those who have been around for 25 to 30 years are unable to remember him fully. You know that the Parlokik bridegroom is going to make you into emperors and empresses in heaven for 21 births. He is the one who knows the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. He explains so much to the brides, and yet it still doesn't sit in their intellects. Their intellects continue to wander in the bondages of the old world. They don't understand that they are in bondage. There has to be a relationship with the one. All the rest are bondage. It has been explained to you, children. Have all your relationships with the one. He is the one who gives you the teachings of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. You know that there are the activities of this knowledge for half a cycle, and that there are the activities of devotion for half a cycle. You receive the inheritance for 21 births through the activities of this knowledge. There, you are Sato Pradhan. Then, from Sato Pradhan, you come down to the stage of Sato, and then you have to fall down to the Rajo stage. When the Sato stage comes to an end, the activities of knowledge end. Devotion begins with the copper age. That devotion is at first Sato Pradhan. Then devotion also goes through the stages of Sato, Rajo, and Tamo. Because devotion then becomes adulterated, it continues to become degraded. It is very easy to know this and to explain it to anyone. You children have to break off all your relationship with the extreme depths of hell and have all relationships with the one. Practice having all relationships with the one Father. Only by remembering the Father will your sins will be absolved. The poor make very good effort, so it is the poor who have greatness. The Father too surrenders himself to the poor. At the beginning there were so many gopis, brothers and mothers. So many have now finished and only a few remain. Only a few mothers remain. Yes, some of the women from wealthy homes are also still here. There was Queen, Mother, and Devi, etc. You now have to explain the main thing. What is the introduction of God whom everyone remembers? If you don't know the purifier Father who teaches you Raj Yoga and changes you from an ordinary human into Narayan, you will continue to commit sin and will continue to insult the Father. Many conferences take place. Very clever people are needed to explain there. It should be explained. You understand the praise of Vedas, but there is no benefit experience from those. Benefit is only received from the one Father whom we know, but you don't. Come, and we will explain to you. How can you receive the inheritance without knowing the Father? The Father's inheritance is liberation and liberation in life, liberation and salvation. It is only the Father who tells you about these things. You children should remember that there is no benefit in anything else. You have to know the Father and the beginning, the middle, and the end of creation. In this too, for half a cycle there are the activities of devotion, and for half the cycle there is salvation, the activity of this knowledge. Although they hold conferences, they themselves are confused. They don't understand anything at all. You have to give everyone the Father's introduction. When many have received the introduction, it will be said, "It is a wonder you tell us the secrets of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world together with pictures." You mothers should have a lot of intoxication. Men are ready to help. The Father gives directions, but it is the Kumaris and mothers who have to do it. Nowadays, there is greater praise for Kumaris and mothers. Women become governors and prime ministers too. On the one side are those women that on the other side are you mothers, the mothers of the Pandavas. They have greater enthusiasm because it is their kingdom. You don't even have 3 feet of land. The Father explains many secrets to you children. You are now receiving the inheritance of heaven. The bridegroom is decorating you and making you into empresses. Not To connect your intellects and yoke to such a bridegroom is a very big mistake. He explains to you children a great deal. You simply have to tell them the contrast between this knowledge and devotion. It is in Bharat that they sing, everyone remembers God at the time of sorrow and no one remembers him in happiness. Why would anyone remember him at the time of happiness? That new world is now being established. However, you should also claim your full inheritance of happiness. The mother and father know to what extent each one is worthy. When death comes close, you will be told, you haven't made full effort and this is why this has become your state. You will also be told which type of subjects, maids or servants you will become. You will be told everything. Acha. Some children think today I read the Murli very well. However, that was not so. That was Shiv Baba who came and helped you. You must not have arrogance about yourself. The Father teaches you and you then relate that to others. If it weren't for the Father, how could it have been your Murli? The children of the Murlidhar should become Murlidhars. Otherwise, you won't be able to claim a high status. However, there may be some benefit. When a center is opened, many blessings are received. You have studied for so long, and so you should open a center by yourself and start doing service there. When you yourselves are studying, can you not teach others? People ask for Brahma Kumaris, and so Baba understands that they don't have that much knowledge themselves. So, what do they come and do here? Baba explains. The clouds should come, be refreshed, and then go and shower. How else would you claim a status? You say Mama and Baba, and so you should definitely claim a throne. None of you should have any arrogance of having given something to Baba. You don't give anything. Baba will then be liberated from giving you shells, let alone diamonds. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Baapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. Spiritual children, in return to the spiritual father, says good morning, Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. Thank you so much, Baba. Essence for Dharana, point number one, have all your relationship with the One and remove your intellect's yoke from the innumerable bondages. Have a firm engagement with the One alone. Don't allow your intellect's yoke to wander. Become a Murlidhar like the Father. Don't have any arrogance of having read a Murli very well. Be like a cloud and fill yourself and go shower everywhere you have studied, and so you should establish a center. Blessing. May you be a special soul and save yourself from committing the sin of jealousy by keeping the Father in front of you. May you be a special soul and save yourself from committing the sin of jealousy by keeping the Father in front of you. Explanation to this: because of equality in Brahmin souls, jealousy arises, and because of jealousy, there is a clash of sanskars. However, in this, if someone equal to you has become an instrument for a special task, especially think who it is who has made him an instrument. Bring the Father in front of you, and then Maya, in the form of jealousy, will run away. If you don't like something about someone, then hand it over to the one above with good wishes, not with jealousy. Have a race among yourself, but do not compete with others, and you will become a special soul. Slogan: May the Father make the Father your companion and continue to watch the games of Maya as a detached observer. Make the Father your companion and continue to watch the games of Maya as a detached observer. Om Shanti, sweet elevated version of Mateshwari. What is my real aim? First of all, it is necessary to know what one's real aim is. That too has to be imbibed by the intellect very well, for only then will you be able to stabilize yourself fully in that aim. My real aim is I, a soul, am a child of that supreme soul. Originally, I was karmatit, and then by forgetting myself, I came into the bondage of karma. Now, by remembering that once again and staying connected in yoga to God, I am having the sins that I have committed absolved. So, my aim is I, a soul, am a child of God. However, if someone considers himself to be a deity and remains stable in that stage, he would not be able to receive God's power, nor would his sins be absolved. We now have this full knowledge. I, a soul, a child of God, will become karmatit and claim the deity status of being liberated in life in the future. By keeping the same, you receive the power. People desire happiness, peace, and purity, but that will only be attained when they have full yoga. The deity status is our future reward. Our efforts are separate from our reward. This aim is also separate. I must not have the aim that I, a pure soul, will ultimately become God. No. However, I have to have yoga with God and become a pure soul. It isn't that a soul will become the supreme soul. Next, this imperishable knowledge has been given many names. This imperishable godly knowledge has been given many names. Some call this knowledge nectar and others call this knowledge ointment. Guru Nanak said, when the Guru gives the ointment of knowledge, some have called this knowledge the rain of knowledge because it is with this knowledge that the whole world becomes green and fresh again. All the tamopradhan human beings become satoguni and the darkness is dispelled with the ointment of knowledge. This same knowledge is also called nectar through which people who are burning in the fire of the five vices are cooled down. Look, in the Gita, God very clearly says, there are those who are lustful and those who have anger. In that too, first and foremost is lust, which is the main seed of the five vices. When the seed is there, the tree of anger, greed, attachment, and ego grows from it, and people's intellects become corrupt from that. Now, this knowledge is being inculcated into those intellects. When knowledge has been totally inculcated into an intellect, the seed of the vices is then finished. People simply ask you to maintain your code of conduct. However, what was the original code of conduct? Those code of conducts are today broken. There is such a vast difference. There's were golden age and silver age codes of conduct of the deities who used to remain viceless while living in their households. Now, where is that real code of conduct today? Nowadays, they observe wrong, vicious codes of conduct. They simply teach one another to stay within their codes of conduct, but no one knows what the first duty of human being is. They just simply spread the knowledge of staying within their codes of conduct. However, they don't even know what the first code of conduct of human being is. The first code of conduct of human being is to remain viceless. If anyone were to be asked if he stays within the code of conduct, he would say, nowadays I don't have the courage to remain viceless in this iron age world of today. Simply to tell someone to stay within the codes of conduct and remain viceless will not make that one viceless. In order to become viceless, you first of all have to finish the seed of the five vices with the sword of this knowledge, for only then will your sins be burned away. Acha, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.